Congrats to Virginia. They've gotten better since we played them last time. It was a hard fought game by both teams. Our inability to defend at the level that we did the first 16 minutes and 51 seconds is what did us in. At 3:51, at the under 4 timeout, I think it was 3:51, we were, I think they were 34% from the field, and I think they had 17 points. And from that point on, I thought our defense wasn't to the level that it needs to be the championship program like them. And they made us pay. They got into a great rhythm offensively. It didn't matter what we did, man, zone, we tried both. It wasn't effective. Even with that, it was still a 3-point game late in the game, and we had an opportunity with a strong drive. We just weren't able to finish it to put more game pressure on them. So congrats to them. Beekman was terrific. Our game plan against him coming in was to play off of him. He made us pay in the first half by hitting 3 threes. You can tell the kids worked on his game. He's a terrific player, really talented player, and he stepped up and had an outstanding game for them. So, questions?
Jeff, do you feel like you've seen consistency from your defense this season
No.
in an ACC play?
No, we haven't. We've been good in spurts. We were really good on Saturday, and we weren't good today.
What are the ways, I guess, if any, that you can
Talk, effort, just attention to detail. I wouldn't say effort, attention to detail and talk, those 2 areas. In order to be good defensively, you have to talk. Talk unites us. Talk connects you. It unites you. And when we do that and the attention to detail, then we're pretty good there. But when we don't, then we're like we were tonight.
Jeff, does that roll over into the offensive rebounds, and how key was that?
Well, I thought the biggest stat at halftime was I think they had 10 offensive rebounds and we had 8 turnovers. I thought that was huge. We talk all the time about value in the basketball, and we didn't do that. And we knew coming into this game, their 4s and 5s were the ones that offensive rebound. And, they had 11 more possessions than us in the first half. And so, again, that's the attention to detail that we talk about.
Jeff, Jeff Fenton seemed to be struggling to get any scoring early on, and then in the final minute he seemed to get something going. Did you say something? Was there something challenged to him to do, or what changed that got him going?
No, I don't think it was anything that I said. I just thought that, we found something that, seemed to work for us, and he was able to get downhill and get to the basket and had some opportunities there. Again, this wasn't anything about our offense. It wasn't anything about our offense. I mean, we shot 50% from the field. Obviously, would love to make some more threes. Just we didn't have the type of effort we need defensively in order to beat a really good team.
Jeff, first time we've seen Dan in a month. Him getting on the court. What did you see out of him in his minutes?
Had 2 good offensive rebounds and scored, but again, he, like the rest of us, we didn't do a good job defensively. Simple as that. And they got easy stuff at the basket. Again, we just weren't connected. The ball screen defense wasn't connected. The help side wasn't connected. I mean, all those things. It wasn't.
What can you do in a situation like that, Jeff?
Just got to keep working. Keep demanding it. Nothing. I'm not on the court. You can sub, but no one did it. So we just got to keep working, keep demanding, keep holding them accountable, and keep getting better. Hopefully we can have some consistency.
Jeff, I know that you guys you've brought the defensive struggles up before, but playing a team that also gets down in the mud like Virginia, are there things that you can point at and say, see, this is what we have to be like in these moments?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, that's who they are. That's who they are as a program. They're going to run their stuff offensively. They're going to, usually be efficient there. They're going to screen. They're going to block. They're going to, be together. They're going to talk. They're going to communicate. They have great leadership on the court. A guy that won a national championship and was on the court for him. Another guy in Cafaro that was on the team that won a national championship. So they have championship. They've won multiple ACC championships, including last year. So it's a program that's a championship program. That's what we aspire to become again. And it's going to take a lot of work, but it takes consistency. It takes all of those things. And, today was a lesson in that.
offensively and defensively, how much did things change for y'all out there when Mo went out with his fourth foul?
Changes a lot. It changes a lot, especially against them because they're big. And so, we can't go smaller. It changes our spacing. On the court offensively, it changes some of the things that we want to do because of our spacing. When they have the two bigs in, whether it's Gardner and Cafaro and Shedrick, like we can't have a smaller guy out there. And so, it changes a lot of stuff for us, offensively and defensively.
I guess what is the thinking or the math that a coach does in that situation where he's got 4 fouls and you're kind of waiting for the right moment to put him in? Like what kind of goes into your decision making in those moments like that?
Trying to see where we are in the game. If it's getting too far away and if you feel like it's slipping, then you put them back in a little bit earlier. If you feel like you're keeping it within distance, you maybe can try to ride and get to a certain thing. The other thing is how the game is being officiated. That's a big part of it. And your opponent, like who would he be matched up with? So all those things go into that decision.
So near the end of the game, when so many of Virginia's bigs got into foul trouble, Shedrick fouled out, Cafaro fouled out, how did you guys try to take advantage of that down the stretch?
Well, down the stretch, I thought, look, it was a 3-point game. We got a layup and missed it. They came down and they scored. It was a 5-point game. We came down again. We got a layup and we missed it. So we got some looks down the stretch. We have to be able to finish those, through contact, we knew that it was going to be a very physical game. But again, it wasn't anything offensively. Like we lost this game because we didn't defend well enough to win the game. So it didn't, look, we did a good job of fouling them out and things like that. All that's great, but we didn't defend well enough. A team shot 60% in a half against us. You're not going to win many games like that, man. Doesn't matter what you do offensively unless you're hitting a ton of threes, which that's not who we are.
On the offensive end, though, Jeff, John had 1 shot and 1 point in the final 13 minutes. What, if anything, were they doing effectively or differently on him?
They were very physical. Well, during that time, how many, I'd be interested in how many free throws he got. But they were being very physical. He got the ball. He turned it over sometimes. And so it was all those things. It wasn't that we weren't going to him or looking for him. He got fouled, got to the free throw line, but we also had some turnovers in there as well.
He had 2 foul shots.
Okay.
I'll give you guys 32 minutes tonight. How different is it when he's out there running the point? How confident are you in him and what he runs than when you give out a look like Femi and JB together?
Yeah, I thought O did some okay things today. Look, this is not about one guy. This is about us. We did not defend well enough to win this basketball game today. We overhelped. We at times, we hugged our guy at times. We didn't defend ball screens well. We gave up easy baskets and all of those things. O was a part of that. O also had some great penetration and drop-offs to guys where we got some easy baskets. We need all of our guys understanding what it is we're doing, executing it at a high level, and playing with incredible urgency and passion. And we collectively as a group did not do that today.
Jeff, do you see a common theme when you guys have gotten some ACC wins or wins period and haven't been able to stack more wins on top of them? Is there something that kind of lapses in between after a game going into the next one? Or
No, we just have to learn how to become consistent. That's the main thing. We have to learn how to become a consistently good basketball team. It's hard, but we have to understand the things that are necessary to do it.
Jamari, it looked like Femi was struggling early on. He wasn't able to get much points until like the final minutes. Did you see something change with his pace of play that got him going? Because he had a couple drives where he started drawing shooting fouls at the end.
I think the only thing that changed was he was able to get downhill. That's a great defensive team over there. They do a great job on defense, whether that's communicating, switching, whatever the case may be. So with Femi, second half he was able to see some daylight going to the basket, and that was it.
You guys had a pretty strong defensive effort for most of the game. They found some holes later. Was there something going on there later on in the game?
It really was just, I guess, defense fatigue. We couldn't finish the plays off. We played great defense for a majority of the shot clock, and then they'd capitalize on us last minute. I mean, Coach told us it would be like that, and we just came up short today.
How difficult can that be, though, Jumarius, where y'all play great defense and really hold them for 25, 27, or 30 seconds, and then for some just to kind of fall back late? Like, how can that impact you on the possessions after that and the plays after that?
I mean, when you guard for 29, 28 seconds and then they get off into rebound or whatever the case may be, that's tough on your defense because now you got to guard for another 30 seconds. And they're not a type of team that's going to shoot any quick balls. You know, they're going to run their sets so they get a great shot. So, I mean, we just came up short when it came to closing possessions on defense today.
Whereas John took just one shot in the final, I think, 10 minutes of the game. Is it a product of just you guys not finding him, or was UVA doing something to keep the ball out of his hands?
I mean, I think they just did a great job on defense. We love going down there to him, so we're looking for him at all times. So I can't say we're ignoring him or anything like that. It's just we couldn't get the ball down there down towards the end of the game.
They got a lot more production out of number 2, Beekman, this game than the first one. What did you anticipate from him, and what did he do well?
I mean, he had a spectacular game. We followed the scouting report, and he made us pay. I mean, that's what good players do at this level.
I guess both offensively and defensively, Jumarius, how much did things change for y'all out there when Mo went out? He was out for about 9 minutes after picking up his 4th foul.
Yeah, I think Mo's big for us on defense and offense. So when he gets in foul trouble, it hurts our defense as well as when John or anybody else gets in foul trouble. So we just need him to play smart and know that we need him out there on the floor.
Mars, what do you guys need to work on offensively to find ways to crack defenses like Virginia? I mean, Virginia is the best in the ACC,
Right.
consistently is, but this kind of test allows you, is something that you've seen throughout your career where it can maybe push some of the younger guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're the type of team, type of defense to where you got to execute your stuff. Your first play, you know, your first go-to shot might not be there. They make you go to counters and do things that you don't like to do. So I think that's playing against a defense like that can only do nothing but get you better as a player.
I guess how, if at all, did you see them guarding John differently, at least early on, compared to how other teams have in conference play?
I can't say they guarded him any different because they were double teaming. I just think their size, they had probably the biggest size in that position that we faced. So, I mean, when you got 7 foot trapping you with the wingspan, they can get more deflections, and you see that today.
Near the end of the game, when both their big men fouled out, how did that change your offensive strategy right near the end?
I mean, it changed it a little bit, knowing that the shot blockers are out. We're in the bonus, so we could take advantage of that. But I mean, we had 2 good looks, 2 good layups that we missed. Number 4, Franklin hit a big shot. So we just came up short at the end of the day.
What do you think are the biggest challenges that a defense like that presents? I mean, I know y'all have already faced them once this season, and we talk in here a lot about the pack line, but from the vantage point, someone who's actually out there, what is it about it that makes it so difficult to play?
I mean, when you go against that type of defense, you're always going to see bodies. They're communicating, and they're in the lane. So, like I said earlier, you just got to execute better and run your stuff with greater pace in order to get open shots. And when you get them, you got to capitalize on them.
Yeah, after picking up that big win against Louisville the other day and then coming out tonight, following this one, what's your mindset heading into the rest of the schedule, the next game against Clemson?
I think Clemson's another opportunity for us. Nothing has changed. I mean, we would love to win this game, but it's over with. We got to take what we can take from this game and move forward.
Jeff always talks to us about dragging teams down into the mud. This is a team that lives in the mud.
Who does? Clemson?
Or no, Virginia.
Okay.
Like defensively, this is what they do as well.
Definitely.
What kind of lessons do you kind of glean from that when you face a team that kind of operates the way that you guys look to?
Honestly, it just comes down to being a smarter and tougher team, and that's what they were today. They were smarter and they were tougher.